What's up, guys? First place deck profile. This is PB. I played pure Eldlich and just gonna do the deck profile. Okay, so first we start off from 3 copies of Eldlich the Golden Lord. A lot of people do cut off Eldlich to 2, but if you're playing a pure build, if your opponent actually plays Ice Dragon Prison, they can just special summon the other copy from the grave and banish your other copy. And if you only play 2 copies, you get to the point you need to scoop. So I decided to play 3 copies. There's a lot of different ratios, but I like it 3. Sometimes you might brick, but I went undefeated, so it works. It's fine. Yeah. Then we play 3 copies of Magician's Souls. Magician's Souls. It actually does help you to toss the Golden Land spell and trap cards to the grave, and it lets you draw cards. Even if you can't draw cards, even if they ash or negate this, you still get those cards in the graveyard, and you could just make them cycle or like make them float. So you really don't go neg with this card. On top of that, this is a level 1, so if you're going first, you could actually like go into Link Rebo. If you're going second, you could go into Relinquish Anima. So it's even good going first or second, so it's a kind of good card. I really like it. And 3 copies of Ash Blossoms. Ash Blossom, best hand trap. Why not? Why would we not play it? Then we play 1 copy of Elixir of Black. Yeah, just one because I'll explain later. There's this one card that I play. It's kind of my spice, but it doesn't really function well. So you probably just want like other elixirs as value to like set the trap cards. Then we play 3 copies of Curse Elland. Really good card. This card actually kind of could bait 2 negates because how about you say your opponent has a card to negate this card? You could just go ahead and set this card, then activate it. If they negate and destroy this, you get your graveyard effect, and if they don't negate that, you will immediately have your Eldlich spell trap cards in the grave, or you could just immediately send the Eldlich the Golden Lord to the grave and like do other plays. But yeah, it's really good. It's really good with Magician's Souls because you could just activate Search, send that to grave, draw 1 card, then toss a card to the graveyard. So like this card is just absolutely amazing. I really like this card. Then we play 3 copies of Conquistador. Yeah, doesn't target, amazing card, and floats. It's like a really consistent card, a consistency card. Really like him. And I don't know how to read this guy, my bad. Actually half Japanese, half American, and my English is not like perfect, but it's pretty good. But yeah, really good against Drytrons because it banishes the card from the grave. It's also good against like how about you say you play against zombies, because if they have their Doom King in the graveyard, like you could just chain on the special summon to banish that. And most of the zombie players actually do play only 2 Doom Kings, so like you can just get rid of it. Also, other decks that like rely on special summoning from the grave, yeah, this card is just absolutely busted. And I play 3 copies because of the consistency. Worst case scenario, you can also use him for ending games because he actually does have 18 attack, and Eldlich actually has like, well, decent good amount of attack. So like you could just try to end the game with him. So I kind of like him. And here comes my spice. 3 copies of Lose 1 Turn. So what this card does is that you cannot activate this card if you have a special summon card. That's why we don't play the Black Elixir, because it special summons the Eldlich from the deck, and if you have a special summon monster, you can't activate this. But the draw off from this is actually really, really good because it's basically a one turn skill drain. Every single special summon monster's effect gets negated. So how about you say when your opponent tries to activate effective special summon a monster, you could just immediately chain that, and that monster that monster's effects gets negated. It goes defense. They could like link climb or do like some kind of plays, but most of the combo decks will die with this card. So it's really, really amazing. It also will switch the attack position special summon monster to defense, but the thing is, you could actually activate Eldlich's effect, the Golden Lord's effect, to send this to your grave to special summon it, and like you could just lock your opponent with discard, and you don't like even need to deal with it. So discard is really, really amazing. On top of that, we play one skill drain. Yeah, it's like basically a better version of lose one turn, but yeah, like just to have extra. And one Imperial Order. I actually really never use Imperial Order in the tournament, but stopping spells are just really good, so why not? Then we play 3 copies of Scarlet Sanguine. Special summon the Eldlich. Basically, what you really want to do here is like you want to set the Scarlet Sanguine and first activate, lose one turn, then special summon the Eldlich from your deck. So if that works, like it's really busted because yeah, you have your Eldlich and you could do your Eldlich place, and most of your opponent's monsters are negated, and like you could do a lot, and I mean a lot. Yeah. Then we go into 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, one of the best hand traps of the game. 3 copies of Trenchroad Tribute. On top of this, we play 3 copies of Trap Trick. Trap Trick is a really insane card. I've been playing like multiple different trap decks, like been playing Unchained and also Ultrageist, but Trap Trick does help you a lot to do like a lot of like to interrupt your opponent. Also, you can also set the Scarlet Sanguine if you really need to do that. Like that's gonna be the last option, but you can actually do it. And how about you say your opponent activates a danger monster effect or whatever monster that has effect to like discard or special summon or activate effect to special summon, you could just immediately chain Trap Trick to set a Trenchroad Tribute, then just blow up the board. On top of that, you could just do that as the last option. You could just keep that as the last card, and you could play the other trap cards, and like you could just do that for the last thing you could do. Also, it does have a lot of synergy with the Eldlich monsters, because not the Eldlich monsters, the Eldlich trap card. You could go ahead and activate Conquistador, chain Trap Trick to set the Trenchroad Tribute, then set that on resolution because there's a monster special summon. You could just activate Trenchroad Tribute and immediately blow up the board. So yeah, this card is really, really insane, and honestly, I'm just surprised this card is like only worth $2 right now. Really amazing card. 3 copies of Solemn Strike. This card is just busted. It's good going first or going second. I don't know why it's like not semi-limited or limited to 1. It lets you go first, lets you go second. It's just amazing. Yeah, one of the best trap cards in the game. Then we play 2 copies of Judgment. I didn't play 3 copies because at this point I'm actually playing 41 cards, and I didn't want to go to like 42 to not draw the Eldlich cards. But this card actually does protect you from like back row removal, like Lightning Storm, Harpy's Feather Duster, or it just lets you stop whatever move your opponent does. So it's a really good card. It's amazing. It's actually like my favorite trap card. So yeah, I play it. I actually do have the 3rd copy of the Ghost Rare, but yeah, I'm just not playing 3 this time. Then we're gonna go into side deck. So this is my friend Fancy Dan actually told me this one cool tech. I played 3 copies of Awakening of Dragon. This is actually also insane because you can actually play Trap Trick, and how about you say your opponent activates Harpy's Feather Duster? You could immediately chain Trap Trick, then set the Awakening of Dragon, and go ahead and special summon whatever monster you want to. And that's pretty insane. I'll show you the targets later, but like you could like play a lot of crazy things in this deck. And a lot of times a lot of people are going to side in like Lightning Storm, Harpy's Feather Duster, Twin Twisters. And if they're siding Twin Twisters, most likely this is not going to happen. This combo really doesn't have it, but you just set it normally, so they might pop it. Yeah, it's kind of good. It's a good going first option. This deck is also good going second. So yeah, it's just amazing. Then we play 3 copies evenly match. Again, this is also really good with Trap Trick, because if you're playing against trap decks, you could just activate Trap Trick, set this, activate evenly match, blow up the back row or every single board if you're able to bait the negates. So yeah, like, it's good. It works with the trap cards, so I like it. Then three copies of Nib. Yeah, it's just good against combo decks. Then we play 3 copies of Super Poly. Super Poly, yeah, it actually helps you like break boards. Like, what do you say? Right now, Drytron actually ends on 1 Dragoon and Herald of Ultimateness, and if you actually just activate Super Poly and special summon the Starbeam Bed and Fusion Dragon. Sorry, it's a little blurry. My bad. You basically get to bait out like 3 negates because you're getting rid of the Dragoon and the Anaconda. Then you're gonna go ahead and activate Starbeam Ben's effect to target Herald of Perfection to gain attack. They need to negate this, because if not, you could just attack over it, and they're gonna lose their negates. Then after that, they're gonna negate and destroy it. So his effect to blow up the board, destroying all monsters on the board, activates. You could blow up the board, but they're gonna negate. They're gonna be needing to negate the second effect. If they can't, if they actually just discard the Eva at that point, they're gonna lose everything from the board. So Super Poly is actually really good against Drytrons. It's also kind of good against Tri Brigade, because from what I saw, well, at least my friend's build actually plays ends on 2 wind monsters, so you could actually go into Mud Dragon, and you also could go into Shadow Winda. My bad. You could also play the Prankits monster, and you also play zombies, so you could actually go into this guy, or if you have a zombie matchup, you could just immediately fusion summon that. Then we play 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster in the side, because this card is just +5. And another spice that I play, 2 copies of Ghost Reaper. Why? Because you actually do have a lot of extra deck space. On top of that, like in this format, like a lot of decks rely on like splashable engines like Zeus and Dragoon, and also like my super power targets like Winda. If you're playing against Shadows that kills Shadows, you could also banish this guy from Ghost Reaper, and also you just play 1 copy of Shred. That way you could get rid of Shred, your opponent, the Tri Brigade decks, like doing the banish 1 card on the board. And like they do lose a really big monster from their deck, so yeah, Ghost Reaper is also really good. Going to the extra deck, so most of the extra decks are gonna be like a super poly targets and Awakening of the Dragons targets. But first we're gonna start off from Pallades. Pallades is just an amazing card, and you can also make him switch him to Zeus. Then 1 Gustav Max, 2,000 burn damage. It actually does kind of end games a lot. And we play 1 Libe. Libe beats over Dragoon. Also kind of ends the game, so Libe is amazing. 1 Ultimate Falcon. If you're playing against like decks like True Draco or like whatever stun decks, like they're not gonna beat over this card if you summon it off from Awakening of the Dragon. So it's just an amazing card. Then 1 BLS, probably like the most linked monster that you go into. You're gonna have protection because Eldlich is like a level 10. So yeah, and he has like non-targeting banish, he gains attack. He's just really hard to beat over, so he's amazing in the deck. 1 Link Rebo because we play the Magician's Souls. 1 Relinquish Anima for going second. Then we go into the super poly targets. 1 a Drago Necro, and 1 Swamp Dragon, 1 Starving Venom, not Swamp Dragon, Mud Dragon, 1 Prankets target, and 1 Winda, and 1 Dragoon, and my bad, I forgot to mention Zeus and Shred. Well, most of these could be Ghost Reaper target, and also it could be a super power target, and you could just play in general, so they're just amazing. Okay guys, this is my deck profile. Hope you guys will like the video, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.